Hey, I just listened to wilbur's podcast, I guess, called Hey and Stuff. He just kind of sits down and rambles into a microphone. And I honestly, I did that too not too long ago, hanging out with me and my friend Jack. We hang out pretty much every week, and every time we tend to record a podcast, just like around 10 o'clock every night. We'll start recording our audio and just talk about stuff, sometimes we'll revisit things we've already talked about earlier in the night, just to catalog the story and thoughts on the topics, and oftentimes we'll talk about stuff that we haven't yet talked about. But last week, my good friend Jack decided he was kind of tired, so it's probably midnight, and he fell asleep. I had ideas on my mind, and I decided to just continue talking even if he was asleep. Maybe he could wake up and hop back into the conversation, maybe he wouldn't. Didn't particularly care, just wanted to get my ideas out there. And now I just listened to Hey and Stuff with Wilbur Soot, which phenomenal content, a phenomenal podcast. I really liked it. And I decided, you know what, might as well. I've been thinking about doing this, so why not? So yeah. So I've been thinking about stuff a lot recently, just random things. The other day, April 1st, I was just chilling, it was like early in the morning, I guess. It was Thursday, wasn't it? Yeah, something like that. I had this idea. It had been, kicking around in my head, and I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I should just put this idea out there. And I went to Twitter, and then just typed up this idea for a game concept I had come up with. I'm going to break it down right here. So, the past week, in my geography class, in school, I have learned a great deal about the Earth's history and Canada's history geologically. And I learned about like Pangea, the supercontinent. Learned about Canada's Great Lake Iroquois. Bunch of cool stuff like that, and I thought, man, that's really cool. It also took place over millions of years, respectively. And I thought, what if it didn't? What if it happened fast? Right before your eyes, you could see the Great Lake Iroquois drain out down rivers and form today's Great Lakes. With that idea in mind, I came up with this concept for a video game. So it's like 3D survival roguelite, first person, I reckon, in a similar vein to like Subnautica or Rust, So basically, the game starts at the start of the Earth. Big Bang just happened, Earth formed. It's all fire and brimstone. Really not a fun time. But you're there, and you have to get through this. So you have a heat suit, which you're wearing, a pocket watch, and a multi-purpose tool. The multi-purpose tool can collect resources. Heat suit will protect you from the heat, which is everywhere. And the pocket watch will allow you to reset the run of the game. Travel back to the start. So basically, you're on Earth, everything's on fire, it's not a great time. And you just kind of need to find shelter. Just find a spot where you aren't dying. Whether you build shelter or use your multi-purpose tool to collect rocks and make a shelter, I guess. Regardless, if you survive it, you make it to the next phase, where everything is wet. As you know, Earth was on fire, meteorites, asteroids, not a great time, but in some of those meteorites contained very small amounts of water, each respectively, and there are tons of them. So, they all crash down, water evaporates, and then eventually, once things start to cool down, it precipitates. And, everything's an ocean now. So now, everything's an ocean. It's just you, me, and the sea. There's no animals. The seafloor is there. And you just need to last a little longer. And then, land will start to exist, and following that will be fish and plants, and that's when the game really begins. So, you wait around, and then, volcanoes erupt or something, creating land, out of the solid magma, or lava, I was wrong on multiple cases in that statement. Anyways, so land forms, and then it's barren rock. But also as land is forming now, there's life, creatures. Whoa, crazy. So now you can food. Because you do need food, and also probably water. You get food, you don't starve to death, and you start to check out the land. Plants are starting to exist. So you can start making better shelters than your rock dome from earlier, which was the best you could do on that hellscape. There's animals, not very good animals, just fish. But you make do. So yeah. Time keeps passing, things are good, but at this point, when I was thinking of things, I started to see some flaws in the program. Those flaws being, time is passing ridiculously fast. That's an issue, because, well, to put it simply, your home and your food will deteriorate very quickly. The only thing impervious to time's passage is you, the player, for whatever reason. Your home and your food, those will deteriorate and decay. So how do we circumvent this? Well, the answer's simple. You're crafting equipment throughout the course of the game, and one of the earliest pieces of equipment that you will be using to circumvent this precise issue is called time stasis fencing. It's a mouthful, I know, so I'm going to call it time fence from here on out. So time fence, basically, you create a perimeter with your time fence, and everything inside of the time fence perimeter, time passes at normal speed. So, hypothetically, you could catch a dinosaur in time fence, and you could have a dinosaur up until modern day. Well, not quite right, it would die of age eventually. You know, you could keep a dinosaur for quite a while. So yeah, that's how you circumvent that issue. Anyways, back to the game. So time is passing, and at this point when I was talking about it, I realized another issue. The pace at which time passes needs to be fluid. It can't just be, X years per minute or second. Because that's far too slow. Just generally. Because to make a synopsis of the Earth's history, nothing happens for 3.5 million years. And then billion years, sorry. And then in the last billion years, everything happens at once. Which is bad. So, how do we circumvent this? Well, when I was thinking about this issue, I came up with a secondary use for the pocket watch. Other than just being able to set you back to the start of the game, you can also use the pocket watch to change the time, the flow of time. So, what you can do now is, in the early stages of the game, you can set your pocket watch so time is flying by. But eventually, once you reach probably the dinosaurs, which is only 250 million years ago, till 65 million years ago, still. Eventually, once you reach things happening, once amphibians start to come to be, your pocket watch breaks through a forced cutscene or something, plot mission, I'm sure. Of course, there's a very loose plot. You're not really forced to do anything. Things will happen around you. It's up to you to pursue it. It certainly helps to pursue it. You'll be better off for pursuing it, but you have no obligation. But this will probably happen regardless. Your pocket watch breaks, and this causes it to only be able to speed up time a certain amount, as opposed to before, when it could speed up time a lot more. just so you can get through the fire and brimstone and wet eras of the game way faster. Because honestly, those areas are rather bland. It's gonna be the sort of tutorial, I guess. A very punishing tutorial, you know. The fire is gonna teach you that you need to moderate your temperature, and like how to use your multi-purpose tool. Water area is gonna teach you about other survival things like oxygen and food and water. You know, then you're thrust into the land, forest, and fish era of the game, at which you're at liberty to use what you have to do what you wish. And frankly, it's kind of a smooth sailing portion, because the first two eras of the tutorial are very well, they're not pleasant, you know, because you've just got endless ocean in every direction and fire. Those are the two starting tutorial bits. They teach you exactly what you need to survive in those eras, though. They're practical, they're not fun, but they get their job done. And when you're flying through them with your ultra-fast pocket watch, you know, you reach the land era, land, fish, and forest, and now you've got an actual game. You know how to play, you know what you need, and now you have an area to do it. You know, at this point, the only thing left in the tutorial would be like more advanced building, as opposed to just like, oh yeah, rocks, rock dome, Patrick Star, you know. So you're in the forest, fish, and land era, and you know it's bland. Really, not much happens, and then eventually amphibians become a thing through evolution, and then after that, dinosaurs, and that's where the game gets real. That's when the game gets fun, I'd say, Ethan. Because before it was kind of a waiting game on ultra-fast speed, but still a waiting game. Now you actually need to live. The dinosaurs will hunt you down and kill you. And, like, I don't know, dinosaurs will probably, like, exist in the game for like 4 hours at the fastest speed. I don't know about how the speed's going to work, because like I know in the early stages it's going to be such a drag, you know. So like, you know, being able to pass 100 million years in a minute, that's good. 10 minutes in a billion years have passed, and you know, since everything only started happening like a billion years ago, that's good. So, you know, you get through the like first, I don't know, like 30 minutes of gameplay, and then things start to slow down, or maybe also speed up simultaneously, because you're doing things again. And you're not waiting anymore, is what I'm trying to say. Though, you know, technicality, time is moving slower. So, you know, we're probably at this point moving like 100,000 years a minute, which, no, probably not even. I don't know. Let's go with 1 million years a minute, which means you're probably spending like 4 hours with dinosaurs. You're something like that. I don't know. The pacing of the game is would inevitably be weird, because trying to balance the long stretch of time where absolutely nothing happens and the short amount of time where everything happens, like the entire building of Earth's society happened within 65 million years. And depending on the pacing, you know, if it's 1,000,000 years a minute, you're going to see all of society build around you within an hour and 5 minutes, which is obscenely fast. You'd have like a 30-second time interval. Not even. Literally, you would have to be in the specific location where Napoleon would be born, you know, to actually, like, meet him before he up and dies, because that would happen in the same 10 seconds, you know, literally the same second. You know, of course, you can slow down time. Yeah. So there's a bunch of logistical problems with it, but conceptually, you know, it's a cool idea. So, you know, you go through the fire and brimstone phase, you learn about health and hunger, no, not hunger, health and multi-purpose tool, outfits and the environment's effects on you. Then you go into the wet phase where you learn about hunger, air, water, other survival things, and then you get into the land phase. From here, this is where the game gets into a game. You can use plants to build things, to eat. There's fish, cool. Amphibians, now there might be like threats, I don't know. Dinosaurs, now the game is real. You actually need to do things. Dinosaurs will kill you, and you know, you need to survive the dinosaurs. And then dinosaurs die out. Mammals start popping up, humans, etc., etc. You'll see societies rise and fall, you know. Throughout this whole process, you've been seeing, like, mountains form around you within this, like, a 5-minute span. You've seen them shrink and grow and all that, and it's really cool, trust me. Yeah, so eventually you'll reach the modern day. You know, what do you do in the modern day? We know what the modern day is like. Well, once you reach the modern day, you as the player learn about this earth-shaking mass extinction event. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. And that's the reason you were sent back in time. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's another dinosaurs extinction type deal, you know, meteorite. Maybe it's nuclear warfare. Who knows? You don't, until right at the end. And then you loop back around to the start. Now, at the start of this, when I was talking about the genres that this game is, I said it was a survival, first-person roguelite. Now, that must be interesting, because I haven't said anything remotely roguelite yet. Well, here's the kicker, pal. It's a roguelite because you have inventory slots, and X amount of your inventory slots are permanent inventory slots. And when you die, you lose all your stuff, except for your permanent inventory slots. So, when you die, you get sent back to the start of the game. Yes, fire and brimstone, once again. And your inventory, you have the X spots of your inventory still with you. But besides that, nothing else. So yeah, that's the main roguelite aspect. I'm sure that there's also upgrades you can get throughout the game that allow you to level up. Another interesting issue is, by nature of it being a roguelite, you know, you getting a reset to the start when you die. If you get really deep and then die to something really unfortunate, that would be really irritating. You know, still, like, conceptually, cool. So yeah, you've got your pocket watch, which you can set back time with. You set back time when you die. I had thought about something. Your pocket watch, when you reset time with the pocket watch, you keep all of your equipment. If you die and time resets because of that, you only keep your designated inventory slots. Yep. Just remembered that was an idea I had. Thought I should make that clear. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a really cool concept for a game. Like, I'm sure as hell not gonna make it. You know, I could barely make a game in Scratch. But I think, like, it'd be really cool to see a team, like the team that worked on Subnautica, make it. It'd be awesome. I think now, since I've been talking about games this whole time, to keep this one concise, I'll keep talking about games. Yeah, I'm going to talk about my journey as a gamer. Yeah, so I started playing video games, I feel like probably around 7. Not sure, something like that. My first game was, I think, Sonic Generations, something like that. And my God, is it fun? It's a really good game. When I was a child, I wasn't very good at video games, so I inevitably died rather quickly. But you know, I made it through, like, if I'm remembering correctly, the game is separated into 9 levels and 3 boss fights. I beat the first 3 levels and the first boss, and then I beat the next 3 levels, but I couldn't beat the second boss. I remember that the levels were, like, the first level was Green Hill, because of course it was. Then there was Chemical Plant, and then, like, Sky Palace, and then Knuckles' place, I think. Might be wrong. No, maybe it was, like, Metro City. Well, that's, like, Mario Odyssey thing, banger game. But, I don't know. It was some, like, city location, I think. That was either the 3rd level, or it was Sky Palace, that was the 3rd level. And then there was the first boss, which was, like, big Eggman robot. Yeah. And then after that, it was, like, I don't know, the level where it's, like, follow me, set me free, trust me and we will escape from the city, I'll make you through, follow me. You know that song? Yeah. So it was like that level after, which was level 4. Then after that was, like, I don't know, something. I feel like SBO was near there. Every level had someone standing in front of it. So Green Hill had Tails, Chemical Plant had Amy, Sky Palace had Knuckles, the, like, Metro City, name pending, area had, like, Cream in front of it, I think. This one had Vector, and then the next one, no, SBO was definitely the last level. Yeah. I don't know what level 5 was. I don't know what level 6 was. Level 6 was probably Sky Garden. Or, no, Sky Temple. Yeah. Anyways. Second boss fight. You're fighting Chaos. Like, perfect Chaos or whatever. I don't know what the boss is called. It's from, like, Sonic Adventure 2 or whatever. Sick boss fight. Way too hard for a 7-year-old. I beat it recently. No, not that recently. A couple years ago when I revisited the game. Because I was like, I'm a gamer. I'm a big boy now. I can do this. And I did. And I beat the rest of the game too. Very cool. I thought the final boss was a little BS though. Besides the point. Yeah, that was my first gaming, probably. The next gaming I can think of is like just the Wii. You know what I mean. I distinctly remember playing Diego Saves the Dinosaurs, which was a platformer game where you play as Diego. There are dinosaurs. Very cool. Then there, of course, Minecraft when I was around 9 years old. Which we all know about Minecraft. I don't need to talk about Minecraft. I played Minecraft with the boys, the fellas, if you will, Nate and Gabe. God, it's been a while since I've played Minecraft with those guys. You know, we all fell off Minecraft at a certain point. I only stopped playing because they did. Just because, you know, I liked playing with people, you know, I wasn't very good. It was just fun to, you know, hang out with my friends, shout, a creeper. Good times. Another old gaming experience I can think of was Super Paper Mario, which I want to revisit that game so badly, but I recently tried, but couldn't find the disc or the Wiimote. So it's gonna be a while longer before I get to revisit that game. Unfortunate, it really is. But I'm very willing to try, because I remember the game being really cool in the later stages of it. I played it at my good friend Logan's house. I'm not friends with him anymore. Not because we had a falling out or anything, just stopped hanging around. Yeah. I watched him play, since it's one player, and you know, that's just how kids are. And it was super cool, because like in the late games, you've got all these different pixies you can use. And you can play, and you can switch your character between, like, Mario, Peach, Bowser, maybe Luigi, not entirely sure. And that's awesome. You know, because, like, they had different abilities. Peach could float, Bowser could breathe fire, Mario jumps, and there's, like, a hover disc pixie, a bomb pixie, a grab pixie, the standard pixie, which, good for nothing, you know. And there's, of course, the main gimmick, which was the flip mechanic. You could change between 2D and 3D. Super awesome game. I remember it even now. Very cool. I really want to play it again. I could definitely beat it now, because, like, I've got a developed brain and also gaming fingers. As opposed to before, when I was a dumb idiot kid and didn't have gaming reflexes. You know, phenomenal games. Yeah, like, I don't know. After that, just like, it was Minecraft for a year, and I think after Minecraft, I just bounced around from one game to another. You know, it was Nothing fancy. Just played whatever games fell into my possession. A lot of Lego games, if I think about it now. Played the first Lego Batman. Don't think I ever beat it. But, Lego DC Superheroes. Check. Lego Marvel Superheroes. Never played the sequel. Never played DC Villains either. But I played the first ones of those series. I played both Lego Harry Potter's games. The first one covered, like, the first movie, the first few movies. Second one covered everything that the first didn't. Those were fun puzzle games, that's for sure. Combat was never really the strong suit of any of those games. Frankly, the Lego games, not very good, if you think about it. They did their purpose. I definitely think if I revisited them, I'd enjoy the Harry Potter ones more. Not because I particularly enjoy Harry Potter, haven't seen a damn thing about it. But I just remember stuff about it more, and I figure I'd enjoy it more. Yeah. And now, like, and then there was my DS phase. I begged my parents for a DS for years. It came a couple years ago, which is embarrassing. You know, a 12-year-old gets his first DS. It was something like that, 10 or 12. Very fun. I've played with my DS. My DS got me into Smash Bros, which is phenomenal. Smash Bros, amazing game series. Frankly, I could go on a whole other tangent about Smash Bros. So DS, I played 2 Kirby games on my DS. I played some Pokemon games, Black and Diamond, and also Sun and Moon. I think I got the furthest in Sun and Moon, partially because, you know, Pokemon games just get easier. But also, I guess I was just more dedicated. Maybe I just built my team better. I could not tell you. But, I know in Diamond I stopped playing because I had a, like, Torterra. Torterra's the Pokemon, yeah. My starter was Turtwig because he's the best starter. I got to the Ghost type gym. Unfortunately, my Pokemon was specialized in physical attacks. And, well, you can't really hit ghost types with those. You know, like, my special attacks weren't very effective either, and, you know, child plays a Pokemon game, he exclusively levels up his starter Pokemon. That's simply how it is. Don't know what to tell you. Like, I couldn't be bothered to grind up any of my other Pokemon, so I just stopped. And, like, with Black, I just think I lost interest. Or, actually, no. I got to a phase where I was, like, I got to the grinding phase of a Pokemon game. You know what I mean by that. I just kind of had to keep on grinding, not really getting anywhere. I worked out eventually. Not really. It's a complete lie. You've been utterly deceived. I tried my best. So I played those Pokemon games. and Smash, which I won't go on a tangent about that. And I think at that point, maybe I started playing on the PS4? Yeah, probably. Played Assassin's Creed, Syndicate. Just, you know, sure people will be asking. Just kidding. Yeah. But I played Syndicate. I've heard that Black Flag is the best one. Haven't played it, couldn't tell you. But I played Syndicate. Takes place in Britain. You're an assassin. Really fun game. You know, I liked it a lot. It was, you know, it was prioritized that you are stealthy, you know, and your equipment echoed that sentiment. There were options for cavemen with stick. They weren't great options. It was good, you know. Briefly on the topic of Assassin's Creed, man, it just, like, it's fallen off. Cause, like, you know, Syndicate, you were incentivized to sneak around, you know, you had to sneak around at certain junctures, you know. Like, half the time, if you're not being stealthy, you're getting beaten on the street by rooks, I'm pretty sure they were called. No, those were the good guys. I don't know, redcoats, we'll call them redcoats. You know, if you weren't being beaten on the street, well, lucky you, I guess. Yeah, like, recent Assassin's Creed, like, since Origins, I reckon, they've just been worse. Or, worse in my opinion. I think the current approach of Assassin's Creed games is not great, because you have the mechanics to play a stealth game, but it's so not optimal. It's like, in Origins, the tutorial, like, briefly touches on stealth game mechanics and then just says, alright, now do a like hand-to-hand brawl. And it's, what? Like, you have a shield and, like, whatever weapon you're using, and you have a dodge and a parry and a block and a stab and a heavy attack and this and that, and it's built like a hack and slash. This is not my Assassin's Creed stealth game. And I'm just not a fan, you know, and they did it with Odyssey 2, I'm sure, and they've done it with Valhalla. I've played some Valhalla. It's alright. Like, I complain about it, but at the end of the day, it's still a fun game, and I'm going to play it. Not too long ago, I guess a while ago, actually. It was just about a full year ago. Wait a minute. Yeah. Just about a full year ago, I played a game called Erigami. You play as a shadow. It's a stealth assassination game. You play as a shadow. Basically, you hide in shadows. You stab people, you kill them, you throw your knives at people, you kill them. Had a skill tree, had a story. It was lovely. Very good looking most of the time also. Like, the textures were kind of flat sometimes, but it was very nice stylistically. I quite vividly remember playing it while watching JoJo's Part 3. We'll talk about anime another time, though. Probably once I've finished watching My Hero Academia. See, Erigami Shadows Die Twice. I thought that game was awesome. It was such a good stealth game. I remember going out of my way to collect like all the skill points I could. It was super fun. I don't think I ever ended up beating it though, because bosses were hard. Or no, it only had one boss, which was the final one, but it was still hard. Anyways, stealth game tangent aside, you know, no, wait, I didn't finish what I was saying, did I? Erigami, shining example of what a stealth game should be. Because you would die in one hit. You could only take one hit from enemies, and even if they were looking straight at you, you still could assassinate them. So it was very good, because if you can avoid getting hit, you can play, you know, caveman with stick. It's very difficult, but you can. So it very much incentivizes stealth. It's stealth mechanics, which there were loads of, and it was phenomenal. Yeah, shining example of what a stealth game should be. Anyways, stealth game tangent aside, I played Assassin's Creed Syndicate shortly after I started playing Origins. They were good games, liked Syndicate better. Origins was trying to be something that it frankly shouldn't have been trying to be. It's an assassination stealth game, not a hack and slash in Egypt. It can be in Egypt, just not a hack and slash. I played Knack. Oh, how can I forget to talk about Knack? Knack was my favorite game for so long. It was probably not that great, honestly. If I think about it, it's probably rose-tinted glasses. First one, just good old hack and slash, clean. My only issue with the first one, second player was kind of shit out of luck. It wasn't great if you were second player, because you overall had less health, and really the best thing you could do was just give health to player one. You know, it was alright. Knack 2, on the other hand, such a banger game. Player 1 and 2 were equal. They were literally the same. Player 2 was just blue. It had way cooler combat mechanics. You had your standard punch, then you also had kick, you could jump, you could ground pound by attacking in midair, you could air kick. So when you jump in the air and punch, you do a ground pound. You jump in the air and kick, you like flip over and let your leg fly forward. Should probably explain what Knack is. You play as like a golem created of several floating relic type things. Very cool design. Honestly, the game looked really good too, when I think about it. It was a phenomenal game. Really unfortunate that it hasn't really gone anywhere since Knack 2, which was a few years ago now. Probably longer. When did I play Knack? This feels like 2014, but I feel like that's not right. Alright, sorry, there was movement right outside my room, so I had to pause for a moment, let it subside so there wasn't a bunch of background noise, which I'm sure the current background noise is already egregious. Anyways, so where was I? I was talking about Knack. So anyways, Knack 2, really well made. It was a lot better developed and utilized what Knack was as a being a lot more. Because before, in Knack 1, you just punched. But now in Knack 2, you can punch, you can kick. Later on, you get a super punch ability where you thrust your hand far further than it should go. And then later on, you get a rapid jab ability when you hold down square. And all of your attacks could hit the other player, but it didn't affect them negatively. It turned into a team attack. So when you super punch someone, they go flying forwards. And if you rapid jab them, they turn into like a machine gun. If you like ground pound them, it like creates a bigger explosion and they go flying up in the air and they can ground pound you and it turns into a fun little cycle. Very, very cool. I like Knack 2 so much. Because like the platforming was better and the combat was better. Plot wasn't as good, I'll admit that. Because there was like goblins attacking and like giant super relics. The final boss was sick. If not a little over the top cinematic, but also difficult. Knack was a lot of things. Yeah, I loved Knack. Since then I realize it's not so great. Yeah. I played a lot of Toys to Life games at a certain point. I think the first one was Skylanders Giants, and then Swap Force. I never played the racing version, the racing one. I did play Skylanders Imaginators, which was fun. You got to create your original character. It was good in mine. Of course, it's not. This isn't the correct order of what Toys to Life games I played. Along with Skylanders, I dabbled into Disney Infinity. It was never as good. Disney Infinity was like, it was alright, but it wasn't as good. Lego Dimensions, on the other hand, banger Toys to Life game. It's a damn shame it got like discontinued. I don't even remember what happened to Toys to Life. I feel like it was probably something like Skylanders sued everybody and then also stopped making Toys to Life games out of spite. Whatever. Yeah, so I played a lot of Toys to Life, but they have their novelty. Infinity wasn't as good as the rest of them. Skylanders, the OG, and Lego Dimensions, super fun. Could honestly revisit it if I wanted to. We've still all got all the pieces. But yeah. I can't really think of many other things to talk about. Like, I played the first Dragon Quest Builders, which was alright. It wasn't great. I played damn it, I'm gonna have to cut this section. I played like Ratchet and Clank was a game I played on the PS3. I don't remember what it was. Like, it wasn't Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction or anything. But it was fun. I don't really remember the plot, but I do remember Clank being like transcendent and seeing otherworldly beings. Really fun stuff. Yeah. Let's just skip to modern day gaming with me. At age 14, I'm almost 15, poggers. I play Smash, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Let me put a date to this video. It's April 3rd, 2021, something like that. Yeah, I play Smash Ultimate, Hollow Knight. Those are probably in my top 5 games. Hollow Knight, probably my favorite game. I played Zelda Breath of the Wild, which banger game, probably also in my top 10. I've put so many hours into it. I think now Hollow Knight's starting to creep up on it. I really like roguelikes. Enter the Gungeon and Hades are both banger games, probably also falling into my top 10. I've played Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is very fun. It's almost like they gave Minecraft a plot. I don't know, Switch just has a good collection of games. I played a lot of Subnautica over the past couple days, put in 10 whole hours over 2 days. Made a lot of progress, not gonna dive too deep into that. Crash, get it? Because it's in the ocean. Diving, ooh. I mainly just play Hollow Knight. I think it's a phenomenal game, and it's probably my favorite as of right now. Phenomenal Metroidvania, one of the best, I'd say, and I'm really looking forward to Silksong. Honestly, I might dedicate a whole other one of these ramblings to just Hollow Knight. Yeah, I think this is where I'm gonna end it. I've been rambling into this microphone for a while now. You know, if I can figure out how to get this all uploaded into YouTube, I'm probably going to record another one tomorrow, later into the day. Yeah, this is it for episode 1, of whatever I decide to call this. Thanks for listening or watching if you found this. Yeah. Bye-bye.